Here's a question about proper formatting for Instagram. Instagram is typically a 1:1 ratio. Let's take a look at how we can set that up in Filmora. Now, if you go into an AI program, you may get different answers, but using the Microsoft Copilot, it looks like it will accept any one of these formats and make sure that your information displays properly. However, one format it doesn't show is the portrait mode. You can use the landscape mode, 16:9. Portrait mode, which is what you're talking about, is 9:16. So let's look at that. But I think the most common method is probably the 1:1 ratio. So that's how you would want to set up your project. So let's talk about how you can do that. On your opening screen, you can actually choose your aspect ratio for your project as you start. And Instagram is typically a 1:1 ratio, not a 9:16. And anyway, that is one way that you can start it up. Okay, let's assume that you didn't make the change on your camera to the 1:1 or Instagram format, and now you have media that you're dropping on the timeline which is in the wrong format. Obviously you would want to go in to either your project settings and change the format to the Instagram 1:1, and that's going to give you these ugly black lines, so you're going to have to be cropped down. Now you can use the cropping tool for that, and you can change that to the 1:1 ratio, and then you'll notice that you have to actually do this when you drop the image down there. Let's try and drop it down one more time and see what happens. And if you happen to choose match media, you're going to actually change the project settings back, everything else on the timeline, to whatever that particular image was, which may not be what you want. So just make sure that you don't do that. Here you have this properly set up, here you don't. But the point is that the black lines are now going to be on the sides rather than top and bottom. So you want to make sure that your project is set up and that you maintain the project aspect ratio. And the other thing is that if you use the right click here, use not crop to fit but crop to zoom, that's going to allow you to go in here and choose the 1:1 ratio and move it around. I'm going to cancel here, and I'm going to show you another way, and that is you choose the one that you want. Make sure that your project setting is indeed set up for the 1:1. Okay, and you notice that now I don't have any of these black lines on either side. This is what my output is going to be. I can take this and I can go here to effects and filter, and I can do a copy. And now I can go over to this one here, which got messed up when we changed the project settings. It gave us the black lines top and bottom. And I can select that. And actually I could have a whole bunch of these, and I could select them all, and I could paste. Once I copied the effect from the one that I like, I can go in here and I can go ahead and paste. The only thing to note, however, is that now I used a similar image here in both of them, but you'll see that it is slightly different. So I may have to go into the cropping feature and move things around in order for it to match. So it's best to have it set up. First of all, it's best to have it set up in your camera and in the Instagram format, which is 1:1. And secondly, it's best to set up your project so that what your preview frame shows is in fact the actual 1:1 aspect ratio. And then finally, make sure when you're exporting that you are getting that same aspect ratio here. And you can go into settings or devices perhaps and change it. But those things all have to match in order for you to get the output you're looking for. The long and short of it is, if you did not film it or photo it in the 1:1 format, you're going to have to crop it. And when you crop it, you're going to have to make some sacrifices as to what you want. You will want to make sure that you can move around on the frame to actually select the thing that you really want to show in the picture. So that's what you need to do in order to get a proper output.